Can we just say that the Zhao King is a piece of shit? That man, and all he stands for, disgusted the fuck out of me when I was reading this chapter of Kingdom. On top of that, just seeing how his advisors and stuff were just acting like it was normal. Like, seeing these little boys in the bath with him. Disgusting. Just, oh my god. Okay, so, the Zhao King. I now understand, like, probably how the kingdom is gonna fall in the first place. I honestly feel very bad for Riboku. I do. I want to see the man defeated, don't get me wrong. I want to see the man fall, hit the ground and all that. I want to see Shin defeat this man. However, I have to say I feel bad for Riboku, because this is a man that has to serve a king like this. And the sad thing about this is that the whole reason why Riboku is even serving Zhao in the first place is because he's serving it for the people, not the king. He's, you know, here battling on the front lines and stuff for the people, not who the king is, but just for the people, and that is why he stays there the entire time. And I feel very bad for him, because Riboku as a person, he's very talented, and if he was to go to any other country, obviously other countries would be glad to accept him into their borders and allow this man to join their army and be a tactician. I mean, many would probably be very happy to see Riboku switch sides and go to another country, but Riboku doesn't do this, and as I already stated, it's because he has a loyalty to his people. He cares a lot about the people of the country, and he knows that if he's probably not there, things are gonna go to shit. And I feel so sorry for him, because this man, he's trying really hard to save Zhao right now. And I mean, Quinn is our, you know, our cast of characters. You know, we want them to win. But at the same time, though, we're seeing the perspective of Zhao, what's going on with them, and how, if they do perish, we can say that Riboku tried his all, but it's thanks to the Zhao King that fucked him over in, you know, the in-game. I mean, let's think about this for a second, okay? Riboku, he really sent out a lot of messenger birds. Like, he sent out a lot of messages to get to the king, to let everybody know what the fuck is going on. He sent them out so many, maybe a little bit of an exaggeration with how many was sent out and arriving at the same time, but it just really stated the direness of the situation, how bad it was of what Quinn was doing, how they're marching to where, you know, their capital city is, and, you know, that's really bad. If that happens, they get near there first, it's just GG for the entire country, and Riboku is very aware of this. He understands this, and right now he's trying to book it through the mountains, and he's trying to rush as fast as possible to get back before Quinn does. And you know this man's very desperate, and sending out all the messages, it really just shows how dire it is. And for the king just to brush it off like that and say, no, I will not allow my men to stop protecting me. I don't care if everything else burns to the ground. I want my bath protected. And I'm like, oh my god. This man is a pedophile. He's selfish, and he just doesn't give a shit about any of his people at all. I'm like, oh my god, the man disgusts the hell out of me. And what is even more disgusting is that poor Riboku, he knew what the king most likely would say, and he planned an alternate in the first place. He actually had two plans. Either he was going to have the king move his army to go defend, or if that wasn't going to happen, they were going to have to, you know, hire the regular civilians and stuff to, you know, be able to fight too. And that really shows you how Riboku had to plan that out. He knew that the king was going to be very disgusting, and Riboku had to factor in the disgusting personality of this king to be able to overcome what Quinn is sending to their, you know, lands. That just... oh my god, like I said, I feel very bad. I mean, I want Riboku to get defeated. I want that man to get, you know, his just desserts. However, I feel bad for a man when I see something like that. When I see how he fights so hard. I mean, we can say a lot of shit about Riboku. We could say what this man did in the past in previous wars. It's pretty fucked up. But we cannot say he does not care about his land. For him to put up with something like that, to set aside his disgust most likely for his king, it just proves how much he cares about his country. country, and that is something that's a rarity among people, to be able to stand something like that. I mean, you could factor real life stuff into this. When you are working a job or something, and you're trying to, you know, move up in the ladder, just be a good worker, and you're trying to help people out, usually you'll have this boss or manager that just tries to be an absolute asshole to you, and that's kind of what you could assume here. You know, you have it to where the boss manager, or in this case, the king, is just being an ass and doesn't really care about everything, and, you know, you as the person that's underneath him just has to put up with it, and majority of people would usually say, fuck you, and just leave, and Riboku hasn't done this. He's put up with it, and he's dealt with it because he cares more about the bigger picture. He cares more about the people and trying to keep them safe. So, yeah, quite the chapter of Kingdom. I didn't think we would get something like that. I mean, we knew that the Zhao King was kind of fucked. Like, I mean, we knew he was kind of bad and all that, and incompetent, but now seeing it firsthand, how it was shown in this chapter with the bath scene, oh my god, that disgusted me so fucking much. Anyways, the final part of the chapter focuses on Conky going to engage an army. So we're going to have Conky engaging first against the opposing army, Zhao army, and I can't wait to see how that's going to be done. I like Conky, how he got a little bit upset, like he did that little, you know, like he's just a little bit mad. I love that scene when he just rushes out and all that, and you have Olsen's like, oh yeah, you know, he'll do it, Conky will do it, we'll keep moving, and you see just Conky steer off and go towards the army. That's a really cool scene, so I'm glad Conky's gonna be, you know, doing this first. We're gonna get to see his action, his part of the battle first, before anyone else. I mean, regardless of how savage Conky is, and how evil he is, and the way he does things, I still like him as a general. He's a really cool character, and so I do want to see this man fight in this war, and see how, you know, he represents Quinn, and, you know, how he can hold off from this entire operation falling into the dirt and becoming a failure. So yeah, the chapter overall is a very simplistic chapter. It really shows the direness of the situation on Zhao's side, and how poor Riboku has to put up with such an incompetent leader that's probably going to be the downfall of the entire country. Because, I mean, Riboku, we know, is going to try his all. He's probably going to give up everything he has to probably stop Quinn from, you know, advancing on the royal city. But the king, he doesn't give a shit. As long as his bath is fine, that's all that matters to him. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about this week's chapter of Kingdom? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.